Okay, so of course the one time that I actually get jamming and moving on Strudel, I was not recording while I was coding. But I've actually made up something that I like a lot, so I thought that I would go through it. So this is a melody that I had in a dream, and when I woke up, I very half asleep took my phone and recorded it. Today I went on my orchid, and I figured out what notes it actually was that I was thinking of, and then I translated it to code. So I'm gonna go up here first, and I can't remember how to mute stuff, so I'm just gonna copy, and I'm gonna put this in my notepad to make sure I do not lose it, because I actually already did that before and had to redo all of this. Okay, so this is kind of like the sound that I originally dreamed up. Okay, and so to get that kind of cadence where it's not just like bum, 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 I added brackets because when you add a bracket, it's like equivalent to one note in the cycle. So, for example, if you have an F and then a G A, it won't just be like F, G, A, it'll be like F, G, A, F, G, A. Like G and A had the same duration as F if they're inside a bracket. So, from there, these four notes, I think F, D, G, C. And so F, D, G, and C will play in parallel with all of these. So F will play during this line, D will play during this line, G will play during this line, and C will play during this line, just kind of to give it like a bass undertone there. I also have another whole like bass thing that I add after, but I'll just show you what that sounds like now. Okay, then I'm gonna go down another line. And so this is what I added to play in parallel with all of the chunk above. When you have these little arrows here, that means that the notes will alternate. So the first time this line plays, F will play, and then the second time this line plays, it will play A2 and E3 because those two are in a bracket together. And I made this like a synth bass, and I set the low pass filter to 800, and low pass filter almost makes it seem like you're like outside of the club or inside of the club. Like it's how like almost like sharp and like loud the music is, like, or muffled in a way. This is what this sounds like. And then another cycle. And so it'll keep cycling like that. Another line down here. Have the dollar sign in the front because that allows us to like stack sounds. And so then I have the sound. Like I said, like the brackets make whatever is inside that be considered as like one note. So for example, let's say you had like hi-hat and then you had bracket and then like 50 notes, right? That one note that's outside of the bracket is still going to be 50% of the time. The stuff in the bracket is all going to have to share the other 50% of the time. Instead of having the acoustic bass here, I do want to try like a different sound because we already have the synth bass in that second paragraph here. And so I want to add maybe like something that contrasts that like deep sound a bit. See, that's like the contrast that I wanted, like something kind of like Renaissance-y, but like a synth bass. So first, let me just see how Sawtooth sounds here. I literally hear no difference. I thought I was done for tonight, but I actually saw something that I think I could improve. before I had this G, just regular, like this. And so I feel like that G just sounds like too much like a horn compared to everything else. And so I was trying to figure out why it sounded like that. And I noticed that that is the only one in this sequence in which just like two regular Gs play together, because this G plays in parallel at the same time as I think this G. Yeah. So those two play at the same time. So I realized that every other one either has like a different note paired with it, or even just like a G2, or like just like a number along with it, which is I think a different octave, I'm pretty sure. I think that's why it's making this like horn sound, because it's just like two of the same notes just blaring. So I put G2 and I think it sounds a lot better. So now I feel like it's giving like full like Renaissance "Where did thou get this code F" vibes. So it's definitely not the full thing, but I feel like this was a really cool start. Probably add like some different song sections. I probably add some vocals as well. And yeah, guitar, I don't know. I'm just gonna keep playing with it and keep building on it and see where I get.